any audio guys in the chat? I that echoed like three times.
Okay. This is a train wreck in the making you're watching. If you go to HagmannSecurityUS.com, ladies and gentlemen, you can see us live.
Okay.
Or will be shortly.
You can hear us live on Blog Talk Radio. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this Wednesday, August 1st edition of the Hagmann and Hagmann Report. Tonight it was a little awkward, and I'm not understanding why we don't hear the Blog Talk audio.
Yeah,
but we are also streaming video at HomelandSecurityUS.com, also at Cuban.
Christians United Broadcasting Network, proud to be a part of the Christian United Broadcasting Network and all of the hard work done by Troy. What a guy. Yeah, so I'm not sure, actually, what we see. If somebody can, if you don't mind, folks, if you can go to HomelandSecurityUS.com, one of you, and just see if we're streaming.
Yeah, we got people in chat saying they hear music.
Okay. What kind of music?
Elevator music.
Elevator music. Okay. Well, now, just bear with us. Bear with us. Can you see us? I guess that's number one. Let's take care of the audio here. This is our debut with Christians United, and I'll
open here and see if it's on.
It's possible that we have things a little wired a little off, which. It's our fault. It's my fault, actually, because I'm the,
Well, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
We could hear the echoes.
And the echoes.
Let me play this for the people. Well, we're trying to figure this out. I'm going to play this audio for you guys. And I don't know, we might not be able to hear it. This is the Department of Justice, the high-ranking Department of Justice official refusing to affirm First Amendment rights. Saying
that's yes.
We put this up on our website.
Yes, we did.
So we're going to play this video. It's 2 minutes where we try to work out whatever problems we got going on our.
Hang in there, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be fun. I guarantee you. Okay, so
we can't hear our own audio.
Okay. Let's see here.
Or we have a setting wrong.
We very, very well might have a setting wrong.
There's nothing playing.
Nothing playing? All right. Can you, okay, Troy, can you hear us? I can play. Okay. Yeah, okay. Do you have access to our switchboard? No. Okay. This is working out well.
Can we cut?
Okay. Right. Okay. Do you suggest, Troy, that we cut the video and just go with the audio for right now, or what do you think? I'm not sure what the problem might be.
We have no audio on Blog Talk Radio whatsoever.
Yeah, see, we can't hear BTR,
and when we get, they go to Skype.
Yeah,
let's see.
Wait a second.
No, we're separate from them. You didn't add BTR with Cuban.
Well, now that might.
All right, we're gonna have to cut with you, Cuban, and bring you back on. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll get this right, folks. Look, live TV, live internet, alternative media. This is our major. watch him decline our call.
Okay. Can you guys hear us on Blog Talk still?
Okay, let's see here.
It's saying we are live on Blog Talk.
Okay, some people on the call need to upgrade their Skype. I wonder who that could be.
Didn't you do that?
I did.
Okay, well then, I don't understand why that would be there. We might have to cut the video for tonight and just stick with that.
Okay, so you can see us and you can hear us and all this. Okay, how about the people in chat? Can y'all hear us and see us? Can you see us?
Lots of echoes. Yes, with echoes.
Echoes. All right. Well, let me just see something here.
Who sounds like they're drunk? I see a comment there in chat, and if that's not being funny, it's not appreciated.
I was going to say no alcohol today. You have some?
Yeah, right about now. I'm going to need some.
Okay.
All right, it's a joke. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry for the confusion. Once again, we're going to do this introduction one more time. Today is Wednesday, August 1st, 2012. You're listening to the Hagmann Report. My name is Joe Hagmann. My co-host is Doug Hagmann. And we are now broadcasting live video on our website at HomelandSecurityUS.com, also on Christians United Broadcasting Network on YouTube.
Yes.
But if you'd like to chat with us, you're going to have to come into the chat room and then back to the video, because I'm not sure if there's a chat function with the video.
Or just go to Christians United Broadcasting Network and chat there. I don't know.
Yeah, chat wherever you want.
Look, it's, again, thank you for bearing with us, all right, and watching this this train wreck of... and believe me, it's not Troy. It's us. That would be via Skype, right? All right. We are expecting. Now, let me just double check here. We are expecting someone to call in. I lost my switchboard. There we go. All right. We are expecting, and we. Do we have?
I mean, yeah, I'm hearing swishing noises, echoes, and ladies and gentlemen, thank you for bearing with us. We are trying to figure out how this is working, how we are going to control this, and what is the area code you're looking for?
That's a good question. Okay, all right. I don't have an echo. Do you have an echo?
I just hear background noise.
Okay. All right.
Still bad echo, yes. Yes.
Turn off
one of the volumes. Maybe a volume on the webcam, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay, yeah. You know what? Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah. It might be here. Let's see.
Just bear with us, folks, please.
I'm so sorry.
We are professionals at this. Wait, no. Wait a second.
Professionals at
what? I'll read it off air. What do you do? Remember Bill O'Reilly?
All right, let's find out where the problems are here.
I'll do it live.
Yeah, that's a good art. That was very funny. Bill O'Reilly on
I'll do it live.
Inside Edition. Okay, for some reason, we can't control the sound volume on this webcam.
Yeah, we can, but there we go. I do believe. No. Well, you know what? No, we did before, actually. Okay, folks, hold on a second. All right. One of the things we're going to get into tonight, and we are going to be joined by Judy McLeod from Canada Free Press. We made international news, folks, and it's an interesting situation that needs explanation. And Judy McLeod, editor, founder of Canada Free Press, is going to be joining us here shortly when we bring her on. Judy, hang in there. I'm not sure which. To be honest with you, I am not certain which area code that I should be looking at. We've got a number of callers on hold, actually a full bank of callers on hold, some just listening, some wanting to talk with us. But, Judy, I'm going to try to get to you here in a second and bring you on and have you narrate this international incident that took place that involves a Tennessee congressman, a Canadian newspaper, and emails and an apology that went out by this congressman over something I wrote and something that you published, something a Canada Free Press published. And I've got to tell you, the pressure on Christians, the pressure on people who are telling the truth right now, the pressure on shows like ours, outside of this train wreck of a video attempt here, which is our fault, we have got a lot of people who want to see us go down in flames, go down hard. And I think today alone I've gotten over 40 emails of a threatening nature. Now, when I say threatening nature, I'm talking about professional liability threats, threatening to take us off the air, threatening to impugn our reputation, and some just calling us names. Those I can handle. Not all of them I can handle, really. We can handle. But the bottom line is there's a war going on right now, an information war, and it is serious. I've never seen it this serious. Folks in the chat room, do we still have the echo? Can we...
No echo for one.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it is. This is extremely serious, ladies and gentlemen, and I do want to tell you that what we're going to do is we're going to get right into this story. I'm going to do my best here. If you're not Judy McLeod and I go to you, please tell me you're not Judy. Judy, is this you?
I'm not Judy.
You're not Judy. Can you just hold on, kiddo? I'm looking for someone here. Just hold on a minute. We're going to try this one. Judy, is this you?
I'm not Judy.
Okay, can you just hold on one moment, please?
Please, I would love that.
All righty. We're 2 for 2.
Let's see, I can tell you the rest of them are not her.
Okay. It's very possible that we've got some issues here with that, too, because this is an international call as well.
Yeah.
All right. That's... Okay, we're going to work out...
Well, while we're waiting for Judy to come on, I'm going to hit some news here. We have an exclusive report from Reuters. Obama authorized a secret U.S. support for Syrian rebels. President Barack Obama signed a secret order authorizing U.S. support for rebels seeking to dispose of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad and his government, U.S. sources familiar with the matter said. Obama's order, approved earlier this year and known as an intelligence finding, broadly permits the CIA and other U.S. agencies to provide support that could help the rebels oust Assad. Now, the rebels, we've talked about who these people are. These are the Al-Qaeda extreme Islamists funded by the United States to go into other countries such as Egypt, Tunisia, Libya, spur uprisings, dissent with the government, and then now they're being backed by the full arsenal and money bank of the UN, NATO, the United States, and these are the same people that allegedly attacked us on 9/11 for our freedoms, yet for some reason they're out over there fighting for freedoms while our freedom is being taken away. All this while our biggest ally in the world, Israel, is a small pinhole of a country over there, and all these countries being overthrown are surrounding Israel, and while we continue to fund these countries with weapons, with support, financial or other logistical support, information, we are giving their enemies ammunition to go after them with. It's ridiculous.
It's beyond ridiculous, and again, we talked about this back in, when was it? Well, it was 2008 that we talked about this, saying that we're not only going to abandon Israel, but we're going to turn against them. And I think that that's what's taking place right now, in a not so Well, in a manner that honestly, I've got to tell you that I don't think I would ever have guessed this, prior to 2008, that we would actually not only abandon but go against Israel. So, but that's big news with regard to for them admitting this.
Yeah, it says, and this other development signal a shift toward growing, albeit still circumscribed support for Assad's armed opponents, a shift that is intensified following last month's failure of the UN Security Council to agree on tougher sanctions against the Damascus government. And I heard somebody talking about this today, that what they are doing, the U.S. is supporting, I think it was Pastor Begley, talking about the U.S. troops, sending U.S. troops to Syria and having them supporting al-Qaeda terrorist attacks by saying, we're going to support these because the Russia and China won't veto, right? The Security Council won't vote with the U.S. and with the other nations. And so the U.S. is supporting the terrorist attacks happening there, until China and Russia change their vote.
Well, okay, so what do we have then? What do we have left there? The options that we have. I mean, it seems like the Obama administration and the Hillary State Department are funding al-Qaeda, the very people who attacked us, the very people who infiltrated us. But the parent of al-Qaeda, the Muslim Brotherhood, is actually the spark plug behind this whole thing. What are we doing with Assad? I mean, what are we doing with Syria? Why? I just don't understand. Well, I mean, I do understand, but I just don't agree with how this whole thing is going on. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct pleasure. Right now, we have connected with one of my favorite people in the entire world, Judy McLeod, Canada Free Press. And we're going to bring her on right now. She is the founder and director of Canada Free Press. That's at CanadaFreePress.com. And currently the subject of some international intrigue, if you will. Judy, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Hi, Doug. Hi, Joe.
Well, hello there. You sound a little echoey there, or a little.
Oh, that's because I'm Skyping you because I couldn't get through on the telephone because it's international. And, but if you think that this is too much echo, you can always call me at the number we just gave you.
Actually, if we're okay, it's not that bad. Whatever you just did, if you moved or adjusted your head, that's fine. You're fine.
I got to tell you, Judy, we started shooting video for the show again tonight for the first time in a couple months, and it took us about 10 minutes easy to work out some of the kinks, but it looks like we're up and running okay. And
yeah, you can see our pretty faces, folks, if you're watching this live or if you're listening to this live, you can see our faces at HomelandSecurityUS.com. That's HomelandSecurityUS.com. Or the Christians United Broadcasting Network, and that's, I'm not sure the website. Tell me again the website. See, it's actually just right underneath there. You can click that box underneath, or click the link underneath our pictures on HomelandSecurityUS.com, and you can go right to CUBN. Anyway, Judy, you called me today. What's going on?
Well, I think that we have been, I guess you might want to call it punked. You were talking when you started, and you were talking about what a dangerous place the internet is and how ugly it's gotten and all the sabotage and all the baloney that is out there. And it looks like that you, because you are so good at what you do, I might add, have found yourself in this situation with what went on today with the Toronto Sun and all the Sun newspapers. You're right across the country with this one, Doug.
I'm not sure. It's a place I really want to be, Judy.
You're already all over the U.S. with with your wonderful columns and what I think is yours and Joe's is the best radio show on the available. So I guess you may as well be all over Canada too. I don't like this story. I don't like the deceitful way they did it. On the other hand, you're up there, baby.
Well, I guess so, like it or not. Ladies and gentlemen, let me set the stage a little bit. On May 7th, I believe it was, May 8th, the Canada Free Press published a column You know what? I'm not even sure what the name of the article was now. My goodness.
I can go back and I'll go back through the archives here. That's definitely not it.
No. But
and it's on the front page of CFP right now, but I just had finished reading the story. Brian is looking it up. It's because the actual story, the writer for this other site, he stole your story really, but added to it, and that's how we ended up on the Sun and the Winnipeg. The name of your piece, Doug, was "The Planned Re-Election of Obama, Revolutionary Style."
That's right.
Yeah,
okay, yeah, and setting the stage, unbeknownst to me, apparently this weekend, from an organization called the Constitution Party of Florida, they published some excerpts from Canada Free Press's article from May 8th of 2012, which I had authored, and from that, a Tennessee congressman by the name of Kelly Keisling, and I don't know if that's a male or female, actually. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not even sure if that's male or female, but regardless.
Kelly Keisling, a Republican state legislator, and it's referred to as a him in the article.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right. Anyway, he sent out this email to all of his constituents in Tennessee, citing Canada Free Press, saying, hey, look, actually citing the Constitutional Party of Florida, Constitution Party of Florida, which cited Canada Free Press, the article that was up there on May 8th, Obama's, the planned re-election of Obama, revolutionary style. Okay, so he had sent this week an email to his constituents, this weekend apparently, all of his constituents referencing Canada Free Press, that article, and the Constitution Party. Well, within record time, Kelly Keisling, a male apparently, a Republican in the state legislature, he said, okay, I'm going to, how would you describe it?
What he did is release the article in an email to his constituents.
Right, and then it just went viral from there.
People picked it up, and what happened was there was somebody, for whatever reason, told him to issue a retraction.
And
how many emails from congressmen do you get that later come with apologies and retractions? But when they're not anything crude, when they're not anything to do about jokes or bragging, ego, anything. This is not personal. This is not in something embarrassing. This is about information from government insiders. And they posted it as if when he posted the email and gave it to his constituents as a reliable must-read, pretty much. Exactly. Not in those words, but then to come out, so fast afterwards and say, I'm sorry I put this out there. I need to be more responsible.
Right.
And what I released.
And he said earlier this week, and here's the exact wording from his retraction. Earlier this week, I forwarded an email from my legislative office, which is not really the case. That should not have been sent out. This message was inappropriate for distribution. I regret the error and pledge to be more cautious regarding the information distributed to my office in the future. And the Sun, and I'm going to show the audience, the people who can see this. Here it is from the Sun News. It's got a photograph of Obama with a military man, and the headline reads, Tennessee poll promotes, then apologizes for Canadian-born Obama conspiracy. Now, then I'm going to turn this over to Judy, but I would urge everyone to see Judy's response at CanadaFreePress.com. That's CanadaFreePress.com, and read the excellent article that she's got up there today addressing this. So Judy, what the heck?
It's really interesting how Kelly Keisling liked your article so well that he sent it to his very constituents. I mean, we know how self-centered, cautious, and paranoid even politicians are.
That's right.
But he sent it out en masse to his constituents, and then he, for some reason, a day later, says that he's sorry he sent it out.
Right.
It makes you wonder, who talked to him to get him to take to retract his deed of sending out your article, your fabulous article, I might add, to his own constituents. There's a real strange chain of events there, I would think.
I think you're right. Look, it's unprecedented for this particular legislator, according to the information that I just right before airtime I looked at. I don't believe he's ever done this before. My question, Judy, is what would prompt him to do something like this? Do you think?
Well, if you're asking me, it would almost seem that he was ordered to do so. When I say ordered to do so, somebody leaned on him to do so.
Okay.
Because he was so, what's the word I'm looking, enthused by sending out the article, as I said, your article, to his own constituents, and then bam, withdraws it with comments like that.
Well,
you're asking me, I'm saying somebody leaned on him. Someone told him, you know what, you want to walk back that email, and you want to do it right away.
Go ahead.
Judy, I want to say I just searched the title of the article, and it has been picked up everywhere, at Political Wire, the Huffington Post, StatePolitics.com, LegalNews.com, Knox News, Tennessee.com.
But tell her the name of the story or the article that's being
Tennessee
circulated now.
Representative Kelly Kingsling forwards Obama fake assassination rumor.
Yeah. And you had not mentioned anything about any fake assassination. You see, it is my belief, and you asked Doug and I, that the article that you wrote, the column that you wrote, was so interesting. It was so right on the money. But they had to do something to detract from it. They had to do something to attack the credibility of it. And this guy comes along and does like a hack job.
Right.
He adds the words that you never put in your article.
That's right.
Joe Angioni, I think I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He adds his words to your piece, words that you never wrote. And then the Sun, and this is interesting, says that Canada Free Press removed the article from your archives, on Canada Free Press archives, which is blatantly untrue. We are proud of the article. That article probably got us more traffic than any other article ever written, Doug. And
wow.
Why in the name of heavens would we ever take it down from our archives? We certainly did not. But that begs the question, why the Sun would write that. Now, in another error, I think it would be a grievous error, they write that it's the Canada, that your article was cited liberally on the Canada Constitution Party. I mean, Toronto Sun is a daily newspaper. They're huge. I mean, they would know, wouldn't they? If I were writing a story or somebody wrote a story and I was editing it or approving it, and I saw Canadian Constitution Party, I'd know instantly it was wrong. There is no such thing as the Canada Constitution Party.
Right.
Is the Florida Constitution Party, for which Mr. Anglione, who I think and the other thing of this is he plagiarizes your story. He takes your story and then he adds these untrue things in your story in order to demean somehow the story. But it's certainly a dastardly deed. I was in shock when I saw this, when it came in. I mean, as you know, I used to work for the Toronto Sun. I was a Toronto Sun columnist for many years. I covered their education beat for them. I have many people to this day that I know at the Toronto Sun. I'm sort of scratching my head. I'm nonplussed as to why the Toronto Sun would stoop so low.
Well, Judy, is this a Toronto Sun? It's not a left-leaning publication, right?
Oh my God, no! It's the left fight the Toronto Sun. They did in the days when I was there. They do it now. The Toronto Sun is small C conservative. It's a tabloid. It's a cheeky tabloid. This is completely out of character for the Toronto Sun. I have to say that. It's
okay.
probably one of the reasons why I'm so much in shock at this story. Did it come in and the editors didn't check it out first? I don't know. I don't want to cast aspersions on their editing either, but right off the bat, you can see if you're like, okay, just from an editing perspective, Doug, when you see it, they didn't read your article, because if they did read your article, they would know instantly that you didn't use the word assassinations and, the other parties that Aglione refers to. It's quite bizarre. He starts out by saying, I think this is really good when you're sabotaging somebody, right? He starts out, while the original article appears to be removed from Canterbury Press, he's sort of like, in a very backhanded way, says, oh, it's a good article. So he takes away suspicion from himself. In fact, when I first read it, I thought, oh, okay, he's smart. He liked Doug's article too. But then when you go down, you see he's putting things in your article that you never wrote.
Right. Now, in fairness and in full disclosure, I gave a lot of interviews after that article played, and we did talk about false flag operations and some additional information I had that was pure speculation, and it was kind
on the Rick Wild show, you talked a little bit about him. I think he mentioned it, asked you the question, and you said it's a possibility.
Well, yeah, about potential assassination, about a situation where Obama could, but this was all on radio interviews where the administrator, there was discussion about a false flag operation to create empathy and sympathy for the Obama administration.
The writer doesn't indicate that in his piece.
Right.
He doesn't indicate that at all in his piece.
And he never called you. He never called me.
Nope.
Okay, so the real problem I have here is from my point. I got multiple problems with this, especially the fact that this lawmaker decided not to or decided to tank, not only retract but apologize this information.
Yeah. And I found the article. It's the planned reelection of Obama, the revolutionary style. Right. I was looking for it there.
Yeah, and that was from that was published on CFP on May 8th. But Judy, so there's got to be something more here to this that we're missing, is there not?
Well, as I say, I believe it's an attempt. It's a real sabotage attempt. Somebody was very unhappy about that article being out there, and as you know, it had gone viral way back in May.
Right.
And it's still walking on big legs on the internet to this day.
Right.
Somebody didn't like that, so somebody wanted to come along and, make it, with an attack, make it appear as if, we're all crazy, like we're a fringe, like the Toronto Sun refers to CFP as the fringe, whatever they mean by that.
I can't believe that they did that, by the way, but, fringe you're not.
No, but that's what they wrote. So I think that I think it's an attempt, to be honest with you, not so much. See, I see it a little bit different than you do. I don't really see it so much as an attack on the CFP, although it is, as an attempt to undermine Doug Hagmann's column on Obama's election revolutionary style. That's how I see it.
Okay.
Yeah, and how come they're not going after other people who have reported the same things? There's been many journalists, many talk show hosts who have said the same thing,
I have a really good answer for that one, because the other writers did not put it across as powerfully as Doug, did not write with such clarity, don't have those sorts of contacts, don't have the reputation of being a private investigator with 30 years, experience under his belt. None of those other writers did. This story, Doug's one, is the most dangerous to them. That's why.
All right.
Yeah, and just to go back to the story here, we are looking at it right now, and we have the quote. What was stated was from the DHS source, and basically said, remember the shots fired at the White House not too long ago. There was suspicion and people, talking about something could happen that would generate a false flag event against Obama or his family or something that will outrage Black America. So it was not specific to Obama,
Right.
And it was from the source, not from your imaginary unicorn fortune teller.
One of the voices in my head.
Exactly, Joe. Yeah.
So, but Judy, look, I have a feeling that when we originally spoke, I didn't really understand the complete complexity of this, but I have to say this after looking at it and seeing now this whole thing is going viral once again, except the other way,
big time.
Okay.
Well, that's the boomerang effect, and I want you to know that within minutes of my putting the article up when I wrote my article on the cover. Instantly, all the letters they came in instantly, but they were all positive letters, saying this is a crock, like the road to get Doug Hagmann, and so the effect that they wanted boomerang back on them. I mean, the article is just as I said, is walking on stilts over the internet. So they didn't achieve what they wanted to do at all. They got the opposite. So. That ought to be interesting to see how that comes out in the next day or so.
Well, yeah, I so worry because I do know that these people play ugly. They play for keeps. They play dirty.
I agree.
And to have a publication like Canada Free Press being dragged into something like this.
Yeah, 430 results in the last 24 hours for a story. So 430 separate places this has been posted in the last 24 hours. That's just on
under the heading Tennessee.
Yeah, under the heading of the Tennessee Republican Kelly Kesling forwards Obama fake assassination rumor.
That's what's being bounced around the internet.
That might be nice. There's no reason to build the 430, but not nearly as stupid as these politicians think. Like people read it, and I think people are a lot smarter, can figure it out a lot better than the politicians think they can. But what you said, Doug, about it getting ugly and it getting scary, it's so true. I think all of us are in danger between now and inauguration. I do. I think that there's a lot of stuff going on. Like, every second email we get now, we have to check it out. It's there's so much propaganda masquerading as truth and fact on the internet right now.
That's
so
right.
many games being played. But I think in your particular case, you're a real target, Douglas Hagmann, because you are so good at what you do. And I think that is why these things are happening.
I agree, and I'll thank you for the compliment for him. You're right on the money. He is very precise, very accurate, very good at getting the information out of people or getting the information from people. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been, such a highly decorated private investigator for the last 20-plus years.
And look at what's happened to you lately. Like, the show has just gone right through the ceiling in terms of, I've been listening into your show the last couple of weeks, and I was blown away with how good the show is. And this has only happened in the last couple of months. It wasn't all that long ago that you ran into trouble with the big time GoDaddy. You've had all kinds of strange things happening in terms of when you're on air. I mean, it's a
numbers are manipulated.
Yeah, actually, if we would tell people exactly what's going on over the last 60 days with respect to the numbers, with our numbers, with our show, with
all the anomalies that have happened, and we have proof of it all.
We do, and it's just incredible. It really is, Judy. But the thing is I thank God we've got you up there in Canada Free Press, because I mean, look, every American has got a target.
And your site has grown so much to the point where it is referenced, with the top sites, alternative sites on the internet, as it should be. And I just want to commend you on that because it is awesome to see, and nothing against Canada, but, you know, I always hear the term, you know, Russia Today does a better job at reporting the American news than, you know, any of the mainstream media outlets in America.
Canada.
Same thing with Canada Free Press.
Yeah.
And you might throw in the British papers too do a better job than the American media. Like the American media is like it's god awful. The mainstream media. And yes, there are some good websites and there are some good people trying to get the truth out, but it's very difficult when the mainstream media is right in the tank with the one and other things too. I mean, it's what's happening is awful. I feel sorry for the American public sometimes. It's going to be really difficult wading through and to find the truth.
Yeah.
And it isn't so few places anymore.
And I just typed in the chat room, you know, we should fight back. Repost the original article to your Facebook, to your Twitter, the planned re-election of Obama revolutionary style from May 7th, 2012. You know, fight back with these lies. Don't let them just tell you it's a fake story or it's a, you know, made up myth that what this guy put out in his email just happened to be some, you know, garbage he stumbled upon. That was not the case. This man referred this information to his constituents as pretty much vital and important to read, only to have him retract it and apologize days later, and it be made a big news story of now. And now the article itself is being attacked as fraudulent and fake for no reason other than they are worried about the information inside it, which is only drawing more attention to the article.
The person in the chat room is right on. It's I think that's a very intelligent way of doing it. Yeah, you're giving me ideas here. Maybe we should just repost the article as our cover tomorrow. And you know, we don't normally do that. We never would be precedent setting. But I think that he or she is right. It's like to let these things go is wrong. I mean, it's.
Well, just to clear the air, and I mean the air everywhere, and Judy, I will reaffirm this with you, and of course you know a lot about about my sources and about the things that we do. I just want to reassure everyone that I stand by every word of that article that was published on Canada Free Press. I would stake my reputation on. I would put my reputation and have put my reputation on the line. That article is entirely factual. It is, and there is nothing I would change about that article, and I commend Canada Free Press for having the integrity and the guts to publish it. And I want to thank you, Judy, for sticking by me. And
well, that's my honor, Doug. I mean, you are very much to be admired, and we stand strongly by the article. There is nothing wrong with the article. The article is something that the entire media should be writing about because what you're saying, what your source is telling you, unfortunately, it's there, and it's going to happen, and people need to wake up. It's a very dangerous scenario that's being set for Americans right now, and you know, our time is fast upon us. I mean, the election is November 6th.
97 days now.
You got it.
Yeah, and look, I believe, Judy, I think, and perhaps you might agree with me, I do believe that by writing, by exposing, at times, by exposing things, plans in advance, I do believe that we can possibly change events.
I believe in that very strongly. I do. Yeah.
You know, if it'd be like me saying to somebody, to my neighbor, saying, look, at 10 o'clock or sometime between 10 and 6 o'clock tomorrow, somebody's going to run over your mailbox, and I know, you know, it's going to be intentional. You know, but by exposing that agenda, that plan, well, you know, if that person finds out, if that's publicized somewhere, or that person finds out, are they going to do that? They're going to run over that mailbox with the you know, idea of perhaps that they'll get caught? No, of course not. So maybe this is good.
I think it is good, and I think standing your ground and what you're doing is you're preparing people for these, you know, dangerous scenarios. I think it's very courageous of you, and I think it's the right thing to do. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Well, the courageousness, I believe, Judy, is all is with Canada Free Press, because I don't have anything. I mean, what do I have to lose? Okay, you've got a lot to lose. You put a lot of faith in me. I mean, certainly, I don't think you'd have done that, however, recklessly, if you didn't know, if you weren't convinced of the accuracy. But the commendations belong in your area, so. And I'm going to leave it at that, because I really believe that we're under a vicious attack, and it's information warfare. It really is.
That's a very good way to put it, information warfare. And but again, I believe very strongly in people, that they are not stupid,
right?
That they can figure things out for themselves, and it's not so easy to propagandize and get away with it. And I really do believe that people see through them. And of course, I worry about you and Joe for your personal safety. And you say you have nothing to lose. Well, we all have a lot to lose if some of these plans that you wrote about in your May 8th piece come to happen. We have a lot to lose. No,
that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I was thinking in terms of, I don't know. I know what
you're trying to say, Doug. I know what you're trying to say.
It gets to the point, Judy, where you just feel so beat up, and so, I don't know, but you've got to have the courage to go on, and you've got to keep going and saying, look, I'm going to double down. And I'll tell you what, Judy, I guarantee you right now, I will double down on this. Okay? You want to fight? You want to play hardball? Okay, not you, Judy, but
I know.
We'll play hardball. I'll double down, and whoever's behind this this whole agenda
maybe we can get this Kelly guy on. See what he has to say.
If Kelly baby had the courage to place a phone call to your radio show and explain and say, oh no, what really happened, and someone told me I better not, and I wasn't sure what to think. Because it looks very much as though somebody ordered him to take it down, or used him as the tool, so to speak, to pull off this piece of propaganda. So if the guy is honest, just give Hagmann and Hagmann Report a call.
That's right.
They're not afraid of the truth. Why should you be?
Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to say as much as I was threatened to do this retraction. Just say, all I can say is, I got the word. There's ways around saying things without being too,
how do you retract a retraction?
Not retract the retraction, but kind of giving a hint without so many saying as much,
Well,
that.
It's a long way from Tennessee to Toronto, Ontario, Canada, guys.
Yeah, and it's making its way around the whole world.
Yeah. It's amazing how these things go, isn't it?
And I find it interesting that the Sun News would be so careless, as you point out, in the factual information.
It truly bothered me that day, yeah.
And plus, they attempt to legitimize this whole retraction by putting an unrelated picture of Obama with a military individual on the top of this story, which is unrelated to anything, but whatever. But again, Judy, I stand behind every word of that story. I'm doubling down, and I'll tell you what, I commend you for everything you've done and standing behind me and writing the piece that you did. Folks, CanadaFreePress.com, Judy McLeod has written about this. So,
thank you very much, Doug. And I know that from being an avid listener to your show, that you have a lot of people waiting online, and I will get off now, and I'll be listening to them, and they have their chance. I'm sure that they're waiting patiently to talk to the show, and keep up the good work, guys. Things will be all right.
Oh, well, God bless you, Judy. Thank you so very much for being on our side. I certainly would not want to be against you. You're one formidable, you'd be one formidable foe. Give my best to Kiko, the COO, and of Canada Free Press, and the and everyone else there. God bless you.
God bless you guys.
Thanks, Judy.
Good night.
You're welcome. Good night.
Well,
an excellent friend and fellow journalist, founder and editor of Canada Free Press, Judy McLeod. Bookmark their site, visit it every morning, as well as HomelandSecurityUS.com. And what you won't find on our site, you will find on their site. What is going on in America, and everybody loves their.
I'll tell you, they do such a great job.
The word, their little phrase they have, because without America there is no free press.
There's
something like
no
that.
free world.
No, okay. But no, a lot of people I've heard comment about that, and they love that slogan. And it's a great site. They're true patriots. They stand and love freedom and love the Constitution more than 90% of the Americans who live in America.
Yeah.
So, what does that say about our nation?
It says that we kind of our show last night that we were talking to, and there might be millions of guns, but
and thanks to listener and person in the chat room, we have the state congressman's phone number and email address. Maybe we will give contact.
I'll contact him tomorrow during office hours and ask him to respond to this because, like I said, I stand behind this article. I stand behind every fact. I stand behind it. Now, I can't. Whatever people, however they reprint things, and I've got no control over that. But if you go to the source, which is CanadaFreePress.com, go to the source, read the article. Okay, that's where you have to start, not some other website.
Yeah.
So,
and Troy, if you can hear me, I have a video queued up or an audio queued up in our audio clip vault here on our studio, and if you can find the YouTube title, $900 trillion missing from Federal Reserve. It's a 5-minute, 23-second video. Maybe we'll open the top of the second hour with it. We can send you the link if we have to, but I just wanted to let you know, 900 trillion missing, 5-minute, 23 video. We'd like to have that played.
Yeah.
So,
in fact, we have to send them the link.
Okay, I'll get that for you.
But now this is important because again, you're looking at what? How much was 900?
900 trillion.
900 trillion. Okay.
900 trillion. Yeah, I don't even know what that looks like. What that means.
Okay, but we're only talking 16 trillion
missing. But we're talking about
no. I mean,
16 trillion debt.
Right.
We're talking about
the GDP of the entire world.
They say what?
Twice.
A quarter million, a quarter quadrillion, or I forget the term. 1.5 quadrillion, meaning 150 trillion or more. I mean, the derivative doesn't.
Who's the author of this YouTube? Because
this is a congressional hearing.
Okay, all right, but $900 trillion. Okay, well, I suppose we'll both be. I guess we'll all be informed at the after the top of the hour. And folks, this is why we wanted to use the video because look, stuff like this is important to show. We can't have just merely or sometimes when we want to show videos or show exhibits like this, just to show you it's there. I mean, we like to to do this. That's why we attempted to do the video tonight.
And it's funny, I was searching for the video and I was off by some zeros trying to figure out what the correct what $9 trillion looks like with all those zeros. It's pretty amazing. I mean, could you imagine? We could, with $9 trillion cash sitting in front of us right now, we could feed the whole planet and get them established to be able to feed themselves, every citizen, for the rest of their lives and generations if they maintained it properly. Kind of like how the Founding Fathers instituted capitalism and self-reliance to the point where each individual could rely on themselves under freedom in a nation that would leave you alone to grow and prosper, yet it has been turned backwards and has been made a system of oppression, of taking away your individual liberties and you're taking away of your individual rights in order to give government more control. We saw a story not too long ago. A man was sentenced to 60 days in jail for collecting rainwater on his own property. Today in New Mexico, I think it was, Obama is perpetrating a power grab of water, saying that if the
federal
county of
government,
it was Los I can't remember Los Cruces says
New Mexico.
The government is now telling them that if they do not hand over control of their water to the federal government, that they will be facing, sanctions and possibility the confiscation of the control of the water. Anyway,
right? Yeah. So, what do you say to this? What do you say to this encroachment? I don't know. Again, I feel like a pinball in a pinball machine today. After going through just a whole horrendous thing, but you look at these headlines that we're seeing right now. How can anyone doubt the lateness of the hour, where we're at here with everything? I don't think you can doubt that.
Yeah.
I don't want to take any calls before the top of the hour break because I think we're getting up against it. So what we'll do is we'll do this. We'll when we take the top of the hour break, we'll open up with that video.
It looks like they removed the video from YouTube. I have it posted on my Facebook account. I'll find it, but it's not coming up on the YouTube searches anymore.
Well, that's good. Well, why don't you go ahead and look for that on your account? And
we can't take us out with the music or the ads. I don't think they don't play. We tried to play audio. It did not play to the audience.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Troy, we can actually play an audio feed right now from our switchboard, correct? And it'll go through. And stand by here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, we're doing this. This is the first time
on our own ever doing this.
Okay. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to try this. Since we're up against the top of the hour, we're going to try this. We're going to cut the video for the top of the hour break, and then play the sponsors to this. Get the video to the producer, and then from there we'll open up with this video, and then we'll be taking your calls. So that's how it's going to work. So folks, stay with us. You're listening to the Hagmann and Hagmann Report on this first day of August 2012, and our apologies for any type of amateurish look to this, but like I said,
we'll get used to it.
Yeah, we're doing our best here, and I think that people, I don't know, you can send your comments via email too.
You know what? A lot of people say you're a natural at this. I know they've said it to you. I've got the compliments. People say, you're a natural as a talk show host. But you know what? I think it's more of you're a natural at what God chooses you to be. And what you're doing, what you're supposed to, for the Lord, it comes naturally, and I think that's really important to put into perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with hour number 2 of the Hagmann and Hagmann Report this August 1st, 2012.
That's right. All right.
If you're stumped, you don't know what kind of gift to give to a friend or a loved one, I'm telling you, you must go to 4physics.com. That's the numeral 4, PHYSICS.com. This is your one-stop shopping palace. That's the only way I can put it. I could spend easily an hour on this website. Innovative, fun, educational. There are games, books, weather instruments, unique time-telling devices, jewelry, optical devices, laboratory equipment. Let me give you an example. We all know we can tell time. With a sundial, you've seen those advertised. Did you know that you could tell time by the stars? At 4physics.com, you can buy a horologium nocturnum. This was a navigational device used in the 15th century by navigators at night to tell time by the stars. It's beautifully crafted in the shape of a pendant made of bronze and pewter or gold and silver. Absolutely a stunning gift. I would be proud to give it to anyone. You must go to 4physics.com. Even if you're not stumped, that's 4physics. That's numeral 4, PHYSICS.com. It's your one-stop shopping palace. Any problems that you have, I don't know what to get Grandpa, I don't know what to get my loved one, that's unique, you will find it at forphysics.com. Please take my word for it. Go to the website, but give yourself a lot of time because you're not going to want to leave.
Really?
Forphysics.com.
All right. Well, thanks for the heads up, guys. Hi, folks. Doug Hagmann here. You might know me as the co-host from the Hagmann and Hagmann Report, or as a frequent guest on Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. If you're like me, you're tired and confused over today's headlines. You just don't know where to turn for accurate, concise information about really what's going on, what's truly going on in today's society. If you don't know where to turn for accurate, well-researched, and properly vetted news, I've got a suggestion. In fact, it's a requirement. Bookmark Canada Free Press. That's CanadaFreePress.com on the internet. It's just not for Canada. It's for news across the world. Judy McLeod, founding editor, has put together a vast array of talented writers like Kelly O'Connell, Daniel Greenfield, Dr. Eilida Johnson-Powell, a lot of guest columnists, very talented writers. Folks, that's Canada Free Press at CanadaFreePress.com. Now mobile friendly. Follow on Facebook, because without America, there is no free world.
Survival of the fittest. In any and all situations, survival is your number one priority. That requires being tough and thinking smart. And the folks at Freeze Dry Guy are going to help you do just that. They have the long-range patrol ration entrees, what they call the Brick Pack. When you're in survival mode, it is absolutely the best item for your survival pack or bug-out bag. You can go farther, faster, and carry more food with the LRP cold weather ration entrees. Not only do these long-lasting, durable entrees help sustain you or your family through the harshest environment or situation, they are by far the most delicious of their kind. No contest. With a variety of tasty entrees, you can't beat the LRP Brick Packs. Let Freeze Dry Guy help you in your survival situations. Go to freezedryguy.com. That's freezedryguy.com, or call 866-404-3663. That's 866-404-FOOD.
Doug Hagmann. One guy that doesn't need a bullhorn to get your attention.
You want answers! I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Video's off. Forgot.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to hour number 2 of this August 1st, 2012 edition of the Hagmann and Hagmann Report. My name is Joe Hagmann. My co-host is Doug Hagmann.
That's me.
We are the premier father and son radio show on the internet, and I would say one of the fastest, if not the fastest, growing shows on the net.
If we
are
keep doing
growing
this, though,
by the hundreds of thousands
well,
that's conservative numbers.
Actually, yeah.
At the hundreds of thousands per month. And we are expanding greatly. We could not have done it without you guys, and we can't continue to do it without you guys. We thank you so much, our audience, the best people in the world. We love each and every one of you, and may God bless you.
And if you can stick by us
forever and all
this, then thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
And
if you can stick by us with this kind of new technology stuff, it's just,
And I want to apologize. I know you guys could hear us. Our mics weren't muted. We didn't know right off the bat, but I said something in joking after I saw you guys could hear us. I said, make sure before you turn the video on, you take the gallon of Captain Morgan off the table. And I said it as a joke, and some people didn't understand that I heard, and the people who are listening to the archive wouldn't understand that either. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, that was all a...
someone mentioned something about drinking earlier, and
there's no Captain Morgan here. There's not even a sergeant. Anyway, we have an email too, and Troy, please listen to this because maybe you can assist. Okay, it says, "Hey, Doug, I love the video feed, but we just can't figure out how to connect to the chat room. Don't know if you will get this while on air." Yes, we did. But maybe you could mention some instructions so that the lost people can find their way. And that is true, because we're lost too. So, but anyway, so Troy, if you can perhaps even break in with your voice and instruct people on how to connect to the chat. Let's see here. It's on the video. Okay. It's on the video, the site. Okay, Troy, you know what? Go ahead and just, if you can just break in on the audio and explain what you mean. Can you do that? Are we allowed to do that? Can we do that? Do we have the capability of doing that?
I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, okay, one more time, because you lost me on this, Troy. Go to ChristiansUnitedBroadcastingNetwork.tk, right? I'm sorry, ChristiansUnited.tk. Go to that website. Okay. Top, hit followers. Okay. Meaning our picture? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Troy. God bless you, my friend. Thank you for your help. Okay, that was Troy, the man behind Christians United. The man behind. Wow, that was a scary sound.
Well, I don't know if that was the beginning of that video.
Yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead and play the video.
This is 900 trillion missing from the Federal Reserve. Shocking footage.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Inspector Coleman, you're the Inspector General for the Federal Reserve, right? Okay.
That's correct.
Have you done any investigations concerning the Federal Reserve's role in deciding not to save Lehman Brothers, which led to shockwaves that went through the entire financial system?
In that particular area, I don't generally comment on specific investigations, but we do not currently have an investigation in that particular area.
All right. What about the $1 trillion plus in expansion of the Federal Reserve's balance sheet since last September? Have you conducted any investigations regarding that?
Right now we have a, we call it a review, and so I don't know if the term investigation may have different connotations. So we're actually conducting a fairly high-level review of the various lending facilities collectively, which would include, the TALF, a variety of the different programs that are in process. So we're looking at them at a fairly high level to identify risk.
Well, I understand that, but we're talking about events that started unfolding 8 months ago. Have you reached any conclusions about the Fed expanding its balance sheet by over $1 trillion since last September?
We have not yet reached any conclusions.
Do you know who received that money?
We're in the process right now of doing our review, and
Right, but you're the Inspector General. My question to you specifically is, do you know who received that $1 trillion plus that the Fed extended and put on its balance sheet since last September? Do you know the identity of the recipients?
I do not know. We have not looked at that specific area at this particular point on those reviews.
What about Bloomberg's report that there are trillions of dollars in off-balance sheets transactions that the Federal Reserve has entered into since last September? Are you familiar with those off-balance sheet transactions?
I think it may be important at this point, too, just to bring up a certain aspect related to our jurisdiction. And just to clarify perhaps some of my earlier comments. We are the Inspector General for the Board of Governors, and we have direct oversight over board programs and operations. and are also able to look at board-delegated functions to the reserve banks, as well as the board's oversight and supervision of the reserve banks. We do not have jurisdiction to directly go out and audit reserve bank activities specifically. Nevertheless, in our lending facilities project, for example, we are looking at the board's oversight over the program and to the extent that extends out to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York.
Well, I have a copy of the Inspector General Act here in front of me, and it says, among other things, that it's your responsibility to conduct and supervise audits and investigations relating to the programs and operations of your agency.
That's correct.
So I'm asking you if your agency has, in fact, according to Bloomberg, extended $9 trillion in credit, which, by the way, works out to $30,000 for every single man, woman, and child in this country. I'd like to know, if you're not responsible for investigating that, who is?
No, we have responsibility for the Federal Reserve's programs and operations, audits, to conduct audits and investigations in that area. In terms of who's responsible for investigating, would you mind repeating the question one more time?
What have you done to investigate the off-balance sheet transactions conducted by the Federal Reserve, which, according to Bloomberg, now total $9 trillion in the last 8 months?
I'll have to look specifically at that Bloomberg article. I'm not, I don't know if I have actually seen that particular one.
That's not the point. The question is, have you done any investigation or auditing of off-balance sheet transactions conducted by the Federal Reserve?
At this point, we're conducting our lending facility project at a fairly high level and have not gotten to a specific level of detail to really be in a position to respond to your question.
Have you conducted any investigation or auditing of the losses that the Federal Reserve has experienced on its lending since last September?
We're still in the process of conducting that review. Until we actually, go out and gather the information, I'm not in a position to really respond to the specific question.
So are you telling me that nobody at the Federal Reserve is keeping track on a regular basis of the losses that it incurs on what is now a $2 trillion portfolio?
I don't know if you're telling me that you're mentioning that there's losses. I'm just saying that we're not, until we actually look at the program and have the information, we are not in a position to say whether there are losses or to respond in any other way to that particular.
Mr. Chairman, my time is up, but I have to tell you honestly, I am shocked to find out that nobody at the Federal Reserve, including the Inspector General, is keeping track of this.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it.
$9 trillion missing.
That was Alan Grayson, and then Elizabeth Coleman, the Inspector General of the Federal Reserve, saying that. First of all, one thing that got me was the argument, if you will, over the name of the descriptive term audit or investigation. I'm sorry. What do you classify as an investigation? Okay, it's a review. No, it's an investigation. No, it's a review. All right, that was a little bit shaky right there. Now, this is back from May of this year.
Mm-hmm.
This is not new. I mean, not new, but this is all coming out now.
No,
okay?
But what they do is they post like 12-hour blocks of congressional hearings and testimonies in these YouTube videos and on C-SPAN, and then people go through them and find out, the 5-minute clips in those 12-hour blocks, and thankfully there are people that do that, because I'm one that, I don't know if I could sit through 12 hours of congressional testimony looking for the golden...
I don't think you could sit through 12 minutes of it. We went through hours and hours of... just of audio and stuff for the Colorado shooter, and that was for every hour that you go through, it's probably 2 or 3 that you actually spend on it. But
and more from the Federal Reserve, this New York Times app I have on my new phone, and I got to tell you, Fox News, USA Today, Washington Post, all the major news media organizations have these apps for these phones, and whether you agree or with the validity of their reporting or whatever, but the news is here, and this Fed sees slowing economy, but defends new action, which is the quantitative easing. The Federal Reserve Policymaking Committee took no new steps to support the economy at a meeting that ended Wednesday, although the committee signaled in a statement that it was ready to take action if job growth does not improve. I mean, what more action are they going to take? How many times can you create? And I got an excellent list I'm going to go through tonight. But what action are you going to take? Are you going to create more solar companies? I got a list of 17 failed green energy jobs and solar companies that failed since Obama took office. This one, $20 million in federal tax money. This one, $1.6 billion in tax money. Solandra, $500 million in tax money. And it goes on. $400 million for Abound Solar, which is another bankrupt company. $43 million in government taxpayer loan guarantees to Beacon Power, which is a fail. Right. $115 million loan guarantees to Ecotality, which was bankrupt now. $279 million from taxpayers thanks to Obama's Department of Energy loan guarantees after the Solandra $500 million bankruptcy and a $400 million bankruptcy. This was A123 Solar, which is now bankrupt. Unisolar went bankrupt Chapter 11 in June 20th this year, laid off hundreds more of Obama money, still making its way to executives. $527 million in taxpayer money for Evergreen Solar, which was now bankrupt. $100 million from government funding from Obama administration filed for bankruptcy in January 2012. That was Ener1, which is a solar company. Also, there was another article today about GM spending $600 million on a UK soccer team endorsement. Yeah. General Motors plans to shell out as much as $600 million of taxpayer money to sponsor a European soccer team despite owing $27 billion back to taxpayers.
What do you say to that? I mean, really, what do you say to something like that?
It's ridiculous. They are giving away, I mean, that $600 billion, you could argue, would be a small percentage, but right. A percentage on the money you owe. $600 billion is not a small amount of money. Well, $27 billion, owing $27 billion is a lot of money. But being able to pay $600 million of that instead of endorsing a European soccer team, what is the net gain going to be, and how long will it take to get that money back? You know what I mean? They said that this team is worth $2.23 billion, but they're going to only own a part of this team, 26.5% of it. And see, I mean,
it doesn't matter. It goes back to it goes back to the video that we opened with about the Fed. All right, and hopefully everyone was able to see that and was able to listen to that. It goes back to that. And again, videos like that, and I think speak volumes as to where we're at. We could tell you that we're in trouble, like last night's show with Steve Quayle and Greg Evenson. We could tell you that, look, there's no fixing this. Yep. But when you actually see the head of the oversight committee talking to the inspector general of the Fed, and her saying, hey, look, since September, we don't know where $1 trillion went. We're not sure. We're not sure where we sent that $1 trillion to. Well, no, they know. They know. I know they know. I mean,
what about the $2.3 trillion on September 10th by Donald Rumsfeld being announced from the Pentagon?
Good point. Okay, but don't tell me though. With that, I believe they knew. I believe
they blew up the evidence of where it was.
Okay. Yeah, one can argue that, and I'm not. Look, I'm not gonna, but that's to me, that's one heck of a coincidence, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, but look, since Obama came into the White House, let's just take a really quick inventory. You went through a listing there of solar companies, of this alternative green energy, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, let's just take some more inventory here. Since Obama entered the White House, the number of people unemployed has doubled from 2.7 to 5.4 million people. That's right there. Wow, how are we doing? The average duration of that unemployment is nearly 3 times as long as it was 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Okay, so we've been above 8% unemployment now for the last, can you believe this, 3.5 years? Okay, well, actually, that's higher than that. But so, anyway, the U.S. economy, we've lost more than 220,000 small businesses. And I'll tell you something, quite frankly, there might be 220,001 here pretty soon.
And I got to say, Mr. Barack Obama said in a speech not too long ago that if you have a business and you have a store, a restaurant, whatever, you own a business, you own a company, you didn't make that business, somebody else made it for you. But today, in a speech in Ohio, he gave to voters in the battleground state of Ohio, he said, it's the small businesses, it's the, small companies that are the reason the economy can grow by expanding, the small businesses in small communities.
Yeah, in a
contradicting exactly what he said.
But see, in a way, okay, it'd be like us. Okay, do we grow our radio show?
Do we grow our radio show?
Yeah. Did we grow it?
It grew through the listenership,
right?
Through the participation of people choosing to listen to the show.
Okay, so there. Okay, so to that extent, I could say, all right.
It'd be one thing if we are telling people to listen to the show, yet turning around and blocking people from listening while we're telling them to come on at the same time we're blocking them.
Oh, okay. That's true. And look, the number of new businesses, new businesses dropped by a staggering 53% between 1977 and 2010. The unemployment rate in Spain is 24.6%. Well, okay, if we really use the numbers from 1974, we're at the same rate as Spain, okay?
And why is Spain, the unrest in Spain, not being reported? Why are because
it's coming here.
The hundreds of thousands of people in the streets protesting, some violently? Why has Spain all been cut out of the media?
Right.
I mean, the protests, the economy reports, everything. It's gone.
Right. And the reason is because that's a window to what's going to be taking place here in this country. I believe. I look. If you've got you got Morgan Stanley, you got Goldman Sachs, you got J.P. Morgan Chase, you've got all of these people in bed with the politicians, and the veil is going to be lifted, in my opinion, that these people, these bankers, are behind this fraud. If in fact, and I don't believe the Fed is going to be audited, but if it is audited, I don't believe it's going to. I don't believe they're going to allow this information to get out. But if it does, you're going to see. Yeah, you're going to see blood in the streets. Look, we're paying now. I just want to mention this because this was a big deal. When Bush took office, gas is at $1.85 or $1.89, or nationally, I think, a gallon. Now it's at the national average is $3.49 or $3.50. So it's not quite doubled, but I'll say it almost doubled.
Yeah, it's doubled. Just like how Obama says the national debt would have been cut in half by the time his first term was over, and if that was not the case, then the voters should hold him accountable and not elect him for a second term. I think were his exact words.
Right. But now, do you think for one moment that, again, it's going to be... and this is where all of the, in my estimation, this is where all the attacks are coming from, okay? For example, we've got a DHS source who is telling us, look, Obama's not planning on going anywhere. He needs a second term to fulfill his agenda, his objectives. And they don't want this information out.
No, not at all.
And so they're going to attack us.
Yeah. A couple news items I want to hit. I contacted these people. Eric, I want to thank you from the chat room for sending me this article. Evangelicalists endure vile acts of assault at North Carolina Bella Chair Festival. This is a Christian festival. Evangelicals.
I can't even say that word.
That visited the largest free festival in the Southeast this past weekend. Say that police looked on while event goers engaged in openly lewd acts and turned hostile towards the message of the gospel. Now, there was a YouTube video posted by, I forget the name of the site. It's Watchman.
I know.
Watching something. I'll post the article after I post the video, YouTube video. And Eric, if you have some of those videos, please post those. But it says Christians from 9 states traveled to the festival in Asheville, North Carolina, to witness thousands that were expected to attend. They said this festival started in the 70s. to generate money for the community. Is said to draw upwards of 350,000 people a year from across the country.
And I've heard, by the way, I've heard of this now that you mentioned it, back when it first started. When late 70s, early 80s?
And this ties into an email that was sent to me from Angie from Psalms 12:8. Wicked men, the wicked prowl on every side.
That's right.
And I'm going to read this. It says, everything we believe about this time we live in, its meaning in an end-time context and its specific meaning for the individual is perceived in the heart on the basis of revelation of God's Word. A biblical perspective would include the explanation that evil and wicked men will increasingly prey on people of regions and nations through the final contest between good and evil were being weighed once and for all time. Now,
I think
thinking the increasing of evil, seeing the evil men and their attacks increase, this goes on to say, at the festival, there seems to be an underlining, really dark feel to people's reaction when they hear the preaching or when someone tries to hand them a gospel tract or even simply approaching them, stated Asheville resident Tom Plethel, who came to the festival
evangelize,
very, very hostile.
What did they do?
Bitter, just dark hatred and foulness. There were people performing lewd sexual acts in front of police officers. People were preaching with bullhorns and had people coming up to them yelling at them, throwing soda on them, spitting on them in front of police.
Okay, so this. Okay, let me see if I got this right. You got a Christian festival that's been going on for years and years. You got people flocking there. You got Christians going there to be of like mind with other people. You've got evangelists. That's the word I was thinking of, and I kept thinking of evangelical. But sorry, evangelists going there to witness the gospel, and then you've got this element of people going there to tank, to interrupt, to take down this festival. That's what we're talking about here. And folks, I got to tell you something: dark, evil stuff going on here, and this is what people don't understand. And I'm going to say this: I believe truly that this is emanating from. Look, if a man in the White House professed Christianity with his lips, with his mouth, with his heart, with his actions, I don't think we'd see the war on Christianity we're seeing right now.
No.
Okay, because there's no leadership. There's no.
They would have to
Christian
take him
leadership.
out and put somebody in there who is doing what he's doing now.
Well, still, yeah.
No, to have it doesn't matter. The population of America is so mindless, so incapable of producing their own independent thought that if the president were to come out, promote Christianity, promote Jesus as the Lord and Savior, and your only salvation is through Jesus Christ, the country would follow. But they don't.
But, no, and to his credit, George Bush had at least mouthed some of the Christian, values. But this secularist that we have, or this atheist, or this evil man that we've, in my estimation, a very evil presence in the White House. At least the dark heart and the dark agenda. I believe it's showing up in festivals like this, and I think that's a good exhibit of what's really taking place behind the scenes here. But look, folks, we've got so many reports about and again, I get these emails too. Hey, life is good on my, where I'm at. I'm employed. I see people at big box stores walking out with the computers and televisions and what have you. I don't believe, or you're crazy to say that. Hey, we're entering into this abyss. And there was a great article too today on the economic crisis. I don't know if it was with Zero Hedge or some other website, but oh yeah, here it is, right here. It's from the Economic Collapse, and by Michael Snyder had written about this.
Yeah,
just saying, look, there's 11 signs, and even he mentions too about him getting emails saying, I don't know what you're talking about. Where I live, everything's just fine. and so on, and say anything, everything's going just fine. So why don't you just kiss off, basically? But what he gets into is why can't people just open up their eyes, look at the evidence of economic collapse that is all around us? And I would recommend it's good reading, and we can see it.
Yeah,
we can see it.
I was looking for news on the drought today. I did see something about corn prices going even higher. The rationing of food will be here. All kinds of different crops, trees are suffering from the drought. Their feed for the animals is more expensive and scarce. And interestingly enough, I was sitting here today and I opened my Bible and I was looking for the Psalms verse that Angie sent me, and I put a bookmark there, and my Bible fell open to Joel. And I was starting to read Joel because I believe, if the Bible falls open like that, you should take a look at what's in there because maybe it might be relevant to what you're doing. And it starts off by saying, hear this, ye old men, and give ear, all ye inhabitants of the land. Hath this been in your days, or even in the days of your fathers? Tell your children of it, and let your children tell their children, and their children another generation. And it goes on. It says, awake, ye drunkards, and weep and howl, and all the drunkards of wine, because the new wine, for it is cut off from your mouth. For a nation has come up out of the land, strong without number, whose teeth are the teeth of a lion, and he hath the cheek teeth of a great lion. He laid my vine waste, my barked fig tree, he hath made it clean bare. It cast away the branches, therefore are made white. And it goes on here in verse 10. The field is wasted, the land mourneth, for the corn is wasted, for the new wine is dried up, and the oil languisheth. Be ashamed, O you husbandmen, how, O you vineyarders, for the wheat, for the barley, because the harvest of the field is perished. The vine is dried up, and the fig tree languish, the pomegranate tree, the palm tree also, the apple tree, even all the trees of the field are withered, because joy is withered away from the sons of men. And it also goes on, if you want to read the whole thing, do so. And it says in verse 18, how do the beasts groan? The herds of the cattle are perplexed, because they have no pasture. Ye, the flocks of sheep, are made desolate. And it talks about the lack of corn. The beasts of the field cry also unto thee, for the rivers of water are dried up, and hath devoured the pastors of the wilderness.
See, to me that's kind of, I don't want to say. I think it's relevant to today.
It is relevant to the droughts today.
Yeah.
And saying, how the droughts could get worse.
But you're going to have people saying, well, wait a minute, we had the drought back in 33. And
right. But this is giving you an historical perspective. And I could do this every day. Open the Bible to any place in the Bible, pick a spot, read a verse, and I could make it relevant to what is going on today. And it would still be important. I mean, we learn through history. We learn through experience. That is our best guide into how to move forward if we're making the same mistakes again. And if you read on in Joel, it talks about that the Lord will replenish when the people turn back to their repentant ways.
They're not going to repent.
I'm just saying that.
We're beyond that, right?
Right. And I asked you earlier, I said, this story, is this a prophecy of the future? Is this something that happened already? And it goes on to talk about that they did replenish the land. But there is so much in the Bible that I have missed. I'm sure so much that we have all missed. And I just wanted to state how important it is to do your due diligence and pick up the Bible if it's not a regular habit of yours, and read a chapter. Read, try to pick, the book of Joshua, we'll say. It's kind of a medium-sized book. Set a goal to read it within a week. Read it within a couple days. We need to do more for the Holy Spirit. We need to do more as far as community, charity. We need to do more for ourselves. We need to do more for our relationship with the Lord. And it is important that be the first and foremost thing that we remember to do on a daily basis.
Yeah, I think that if God gives you an instruction manual, how men are. We don't like to read instruction manuals, and I think that we've got one. I think we got one in the Bible, and if we look at it as a handbook for life and an instruction manual, I think we'd be far better off.
And this book, this Bible, This will be banned in America one day.
Yeah,
you will be murdered for having this book.
Yeah.
I don't have the Mein Kampf book or Albert Pike's 38 Degrees of Satanism, but I guarantee you won't get killed for that book. Why would they kill you for a book? Because the knowledge that is in this book, the wisdom that is in this book, the truth that is in this book. Why would they retract your email or the story and make a big deal out of it? Not because they got complaints from their constituents, but because there's truth in there. They don't want that out. Same thing with this. This is why you will be persecuted for being Christian, because you will be bringing hope. You will be bringing more than this life can offer to somebody else, and they will crush you to bring that message to people they're trying to control.
And I will tell you, I'll tell everyone this. As much as we deliver secular news, you've got to look at things, I believe, through the biblical perspective or through the prism of Bible prophecy and the word of the Bible. And it does you no earthly good, or it does you no good to it really does you no good to not make the connection, not look at the current events through the. That's a double negative. That's just negative. And
I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a very long day. We've been in the studio, rewiring, moving equipment around, getting things set up. It's been kind of hot in here, a little tense at sometimes. And if we seem a little bit off, it's just been a long day of stressors, and we really apologize.
No, we don't.
And I want to thank you for hanging with us. And I know we do apologize too much, but
no, look,
I shouldn't say too much, a lot. And it's because, we feel a responsibility to be able to do this right. And when so many things go wrong while trying to get it, done right, it gets frustrating. But as you can see, we got the momentum and the flow of the show going.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, I think people understand. I really do. And I think people understand that we're not professional. We're not professional talk show hosts. We're not professional
the content
TV hosts.
is better than professional talk show hosts any day of the week. Even better than Hannity and Beck. And I don't know how many of you guys saw this. If I mentioned this, I know I sent it out in an email. There was a picture going around of Glenn Beck giving a speech at the Dallas event, wearing a T-shirt of the all-seeing eye of Horus. And I want to know what people thought of that. He's a Mormon. The symbolism of Mormonism is very important. Actually, there's a gentleman I'm speaking with named Ethan who is very familiar with the Mormon religion, the symbolism, and what their deeper meanings are. And Friday, I haven't nailed anything down yet, but we were trying to work something out for Friday. And hopefully we can do that, because we do want to talk and expose the Mormon religion and its relationship to Freemasonry and secret societies.
But that aside, we saw that photograph. I saw that photograph. Is there a backstory behind that? I mean, did this guy, Beck had pulled open the shirt to expose that? Was that some sort of a joke? I mean, I don't know the context behind that.
Yeah, it's closed the whole time?
No, the picture.
No, that was just underneath. It was just underneath his suit coat. But that's like us knowing the pyramid with the all-seeing eye on top of it is a symbol of the evil ones, or that is what it is perceived to be.
No. So here's my point. Did you see the video with that? Did you see the video?
No.
This company that? No. Okay. My question is, again, that would be like us, having suit coats on and taking them off and having like swastikas on our arms.
I was thinking that, it wouldn't be as bold.
But okay. So, look, if you saw us with a picture of a swastika on our arm, or the eye symbol on our chest, if it was taken out of context. Like, for example, if we were trying to prove a point of some kind, I can understand that. And then, all of a sudden, it's kind of like, you see the picture. Maybe we're not getting the whole story. I don't know. I wanted to get comments. So if anyone had seen that, I'd like to know more about that, because I cannot imagine any right-thinking individual doing this without, unless it was a joke or some sort of something going on.
Some other important stories I wanted to get into here. Congress wants to see Obama's license to kill. This article out of Mother Jones by Adam Surur. It says Congress is finally standing up to President Barack Obama on targeted killing. Almost a year after 3 American citizens were killed in U.S. drone strikes, legislators are pushing the administration to explain why it believes it is legal to kill American terror suspects overseas.
Grassley is behind this.
Yeah, Congress is considering 2 measures that would compel the Obama administration to show members of Congress what Chuck Grassley calls Obama's license to kill. International memos outlining legal justification for killing Americans without charge or trial or evidence, I might add.
But stop right there. Who gave him that license to kill?
He did.
No, he didn't.
Well, the Patriot Act did.
No, it didn't. Think about this for a minute.
Well, okay.
Okay, no.
Who gave him the license to kill?
Wasn't it through the passage of the
NDAA?
National Defense Authorization Act?
How was that made possible? Through the passage of the Patriot Act, though, I would say. Because they use the same premise. The terrorists are the enemies. If you're a terrorist, it's all about Al-Qaeda. It's all about... But the NDAA and...
okay, yeah, I mean, I suppose that they work together, but
yeah, you're correct.
Okay, but so you've got a congressman. Where were you, Grassley?
Yeah, what was your vote on the NDAA bill? Is the question. And this is just a lot of hot air. But this is why I wanted to read this, because if you see articles like this, Congress wants to see Obama's license to kill. Basically, the title should read, Congress wants to hold Obama accountable for their actions. It should really read, if you want the real truth, Congress wants to appear to hold Obama accountable, like they're doing, something. And it's sad, because I read this article today thinking, this might be something where, they're going to do something about it. But no, they're not. You know what the real article is today? The drones are coming. And I will find that article. I posted it on Facebook. And
a little late, Republican or Representative Ted Poe was behind that article. A little bit late to the game here.
The drones are coming. 30,000 drones by 2020.
By 2015, I think it was 30 by 2015. But the drones are already here. Look, the drones are here. They're being used for surveillance on Americans. We know this. It's not the borders. It's middle America. It's urban areas. It's suburban areas.
And I'm sure sometimes they use it on the borders to make sure that the tracking of their drug money's on schedule, and the guns are going where they're supposed to. Human events. The drones are coming.
And now I was going to mention last night. I mean, Greg Evenson was talking about this. Steve Quayle was talking about a drone, meeting a drone, or seeing a drone. Joe Farah had a drone interaction.
Yeah,
interaction with drone.
I thought I had a drone interaction today.
Yeah, you were getting just.
I got video of
aircraft.
Yeah, it was just small aircraft following me around the city for a couple hours. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, it's
it is crazy. Oh, and I want to give you guys an update. A little off topic. I've reported to you a few times in the past. I've seen some strange objects in the sky lately. Different kinds of lights moving in different ways I can't explain. Well, I found an explanation for one of the types of lights I was seeing, which I'm not sure how valid of an explanation it is. On my phone, I have a program that allows you to track the positions and movements of satellites in the sky. Well, one night after a show, I was outside in the sky, watching the sky, and it showed where a satellite would be coming across my screen, and I could see it moving in the sky where it said it was. And I don't know how good you guys can see that.
And of course, you can actually get the drone strikes. You can watch the drone strikes as they're going to hit you.
No, but I mean, it's just amazing to see the galaxy on a little phone and to see when the satellites are going, where they're going. But I know this definitely does not explain away, half of what I've seen, but it does give you a little comfort to know that, it's not all, advanced human technology being used nefariously for purposes that we have no idea what they're...
No, I do believe that there is a lot of stuff that we can explain naturally without necessarily any type of, going out to the edge of the realm of explanation, shall I say?
Yeah,
but look, again, I really believe everything centers on the economy. The more I look at this, the big takedown here is going to be the economy, in my estimation. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the actual trigger point. when you look at just when you look at the various issues that we're facing right now, do you realize that over 500,000 people that are over 50 years old right now? 500,000 people are in foreclosure over 50. 500,000 Americans over 50. Actually, it's higher than that. It's 600,000. There are 20.2 million Americans that spend more of half their incomes on rent or mortgage payments.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's because of the devaluation of the dollar, and also the fact that but think about this, at the same time, in the last 4 years, housing, the value of your house has dropped by 12%. Okay, so now think about that for a moment. You're actually paying more for your house because of the devaluation of the dollar, but your house is worth less because of the housing bubble and what have you. Federal housing assistance has increased to 42% of all households in the United States. And if you live in the United States, chances are about 1 in 2 that you're going to be living with someone receiving some sort of federal assistance. Now, again, the way you look at this, according to statistics, by the way, the net worth of the families, of the American families in the United States dropped from 126,000 to
what's that
77,000 in 2010.
Because that sounds familiar.
126,000, 2007 to 77,300 in 2010.
And we've told you we have an estate we are settling between pretty much our whole family that was left to us by my grandmother.
A house.
And
a house.
The property value was assessed at about $40,000 over market, over what we got for the sale. And what we got for the sale was not a lot, I should say. And we could have sold this house 20 years ago and bought a nice house, got a good amount of money for it. But probably 50% less what we got for it if we would have sold it
10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago than today.
Yeah,
it was absolutely absurd. But yet the property taxes and the value assessments go way up. Even this lady's house who lives across the street from my grandma's house, terrible house, terrible condition. People wouldn't even offer $30,000 for the house. It got assessed at over $100,000.
Yeah,
she couldn't believe it.
No, it's ridiculous. And actually, what happened? See, and here's the problem: our municipalities, and this is going on. I've talked to people all across the country. The municipalities are bankrupt, or they're broke. They don't have any money, but they have a problem. They can't raise the taxes. They can't. They're at the maximum taxable allowance. So what they do is they raise the millage. Okay, and that's how they get around it, instead of raising the taxes. So, in other words, what they do is okay, we're going to raise the instead of you paying raise the assessment as well. Okay, so in other words, instead of saying your house is worth $50,000, it's now going to be worth $75,000. So they can tax you on the $75,000, just taking $25,000 out of thin air, and that's exactly what happened to us. So when we get, and plus, we're also the estate, once the estate tax kicks in, the estate is essentially cash poor, and it's going to be pretty much dissolved. Now, it's sad because that was my father's home.
Right, and he paid taxes when he bought it.
Right,
he paid property taxes the whole time he owned it. He paid taxes to do remodeling on it.
That's
he
right.
paid taxes as the property increased.
Yep.
Taxes went up. So now it is left to us. We inherit it. We pay taxes on the sale. We pay taxes
on the family. And, okay, just so.
But we still have to. I mean, what little money there is left after the sale, after the expenses of the sale, we're paying taxes on the sale. We're paying taxes on the estate taxes on the money we're receiving. We're getting taxed. I mean, we're getting taxed coming in, going out, not even being involved.
Plus, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and I just learned this here not too long ago, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is 6 months behind in closing estates. So, in other words, if that estate would close, let's say September 1st, the house is gone, and we'll say $45,000 is in the bank, or we'll say $40,000.
Yeah, that money won't be seen until next March, at the very minimum.
Right. Plus, plus there's the estate taxes, there's the attorney fees, there's the closing fees. Now you're talking about $38,000.
And that gain, those fees gain. I mean, the money sits there, and you don't pay. And the fees go up as the longer you wait for your money.
Yes,
it's a scam inside a scam inside a scam.
The inheritance department, the inheritance people in Harrisburg will tax you or will penalize you every month that you're late in closing the estate. However, they're 6 months behind. So
and with the low amount of money that the house ended up selling for, with all the bills and things you put into it,
it's gone.
It's like the money you would be receiving. What little relief you'd be getting has already been spent. The profit's gone.
That's right.
You know, and even if you were $10,000 left over, well, $10,000 is worth a lot more today than $10,000 in 5 months. $10,000 in 5 months could be worth 5 cents.
Take $10,000, divide that by 5, so you get 2, and then how much is that worth? How is that? Look, I'm not knocking $2,000, but hey, look. But when you take
a lot of money today, but it's not.
But when you extrapolate that from a house, come on,
and a decent house in a decent neighborhood.
Exactly, and see, but that's a microcosm of what's taking place across the country, because there are people with hundreds of thousands of dollars of equity.
$9 trillion spent. Right, Andy. $9 trillion missing, but they're going to tax us, make sure they get their $32.50 and their 4% sales tax. And how about I have some missing taxes that weren't paid that people don't have to worry about, like Mr. Timothy Geithner, the head of the Treasury Secretary of the United States. Doesn't even pay taxes correctly. What was it? I saw another article where Mitt Romney didn't pay taxes for 10 years, I think. Obama, the same thing. These guys don't pay taxes. Warren Buffett, secretary, pays more money in taxes than he does because the way they file. They own these companies. And we'll say Warren Buffett's the owner of the company. He gives himself a salary of like maybe $100,000 a year. And all the rest of the money goes into the business. But he can take money out of that, business account, but that's in a different tax bracket than his own personal income.
Right.
So that's how he does it. And he could even set it up so he pays himself like $200 a week so he could get food stamp benefits. And he'd probably get it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I suppose, in a way.
I mean, if he's getting the tax loopholes he's getting now from how he's doing it, he could definitely, take it a step lower and do the same thing.
Yeah, it's just everything is upside down and backwards. These people are raping us or pillaging us. These banksters, fraudsters, and right in bed with them are the people in power, the politicians, and that's why again that's why we mentioned our own personal situation, because I think it's important for people to understand. There might come a time when you're going to be involved in something like this, and when you are, it's like holy cow, your eyes are like you're awakened by this, and. I don't want to drone on about that, but I think the economy is at the heart of all this, and because the folks, it's not money that's the root of all evil; it's the love of money, and it's a greed. Okay, it's the greed.
And I don't know if we have this in our studio here. If I uploaded it, Nigel Farage talking about the coming civil unrest because of the euro crisis.
Well, and I think our guest on Monday did a great job too in connecting the euro to the American, to the dollar and vice versa. And I saw something else about that as well, but I can't remember. Do we have that on tape?
No, I don't. I'll try to upload it for tomorrow. I want to get back to this. Drones are coming.
They're here.
For years, the United States used drones to track foreign terrorists overseas and catch outlaws along the border. Yeah, right. But now thousands of drones are heading to the homeland.
Let's parse that segment. Would you say for years the U.S. has, how many years?
Has used drones to track foreign terrorists overseas and catch outlaws along the border.
Really? Okay, so you're telling me for years.
Since the beginning of Iraq and Afghanistan.
Okay, so
they've had these capabilities.
Okay. So now you're so we're to believe now that for years they've been just on the border. Now they're just now, or in 2015, they're going to be patrolling inside America. That's when they're going to be doing it. They're not doing it now, according to this.
Yeah, and it goes on to say drones are already used for certain purposes here in the U.S., but the FAA will soon dramatically expand the use of drones to operate nationwide by the year 2015. It's estimated that by 2020, 30,000 of them will be flying in American skies.
Who and what, with all of these new eyes in the sky, will be looking at? No one really knows, but whether we like it or not, the drones are coming.
We don't know who's watching it. We just know that we got drones out there. We don't know who's behind it.
I can't wait to try to shoot one of these down with my mind powers. No, I would not like drones in the sky. If I ever saw a drone the size of an insect or the size of a 747, I would have the same hostility towards it, no matter what. These are tools of the enemy. These are tools of evil. They should not be employed to be used against the American citizens. The American citizens are the sole responsible, supposed to be the accountable people, keeping the government accountable. And I saw a good quote. It was from the Supreme Court from 1950, and it said something like, "It is not the job of the government to keep the government on track or accountable. It is the job of the people to keep the government on track or accountable, and if they fail to do so, the government will go, south." And that's not an exact quote.
Right, yeah, I get you.
That's what's happened. The people have been content. The people have been brainwashed, distracted, drawn away. They've been hypnotized and brainwashed with little trinkets, toys, promises of ego boost, pride boost.
Those little phones that you have.
Yeah, I mean, they dangle one of these around. Dangle a pair of Air Jordans in a poor neighborhood somewhere in a ghetto and watch the riot that breaks out. No, it's not. Because, do the same thing with, a new fishing pole in a trailer park ghetto style.
That's stereotyping people.
I'm just saying, it's the mentality of the people of the materialism.
I know.
The lust for material goods instead of the desire and the urge for spiritual betterment.
But then you've got these. Then you've got so-called conservative right wing.
How's it racist if it's true?
No, it's not. I'm just. But you got Michael Savage coming out and saying, "Well, I'd ban big clips."
Yeah. And who needs body armor?
Excuse me.
Only the military needs 100 drum clips, and only the military needs body armor. Civilians should not have the ability to buy body armor or 100 drum round clips. What do you need those for? Don't give me the same old tired excuse of the military, defending yourself from the military. What do you need a 100-round drum to hunt for?
You don't need 100 round. You don't need a 100-round drum or whatever they call them to hunt. You don't need that.
You need it to protect from tyranny.
That's right.
Exactly what you distracted and spinned away from, Mr. Savage.
Exactly.
I'm very disappointed in you, and I know you don't care. Your ego is way too inflated to care about that.
But here's a guy. You talk about the insanity behind this. Here's a guy who sleeps in a different house every night. Every night he sleeps. Do you know that? He goes to the store in his pajamas.
90 seconds.
Sleeps in a different house every night, Michael Savage. You're afraid, and you're telling us that we don't have the right for additional magazines. What the hell's wrong with you?
Right.
What happened to you? Who got to you?
Yeah, just like Beck, just like everybody else who was good and independent and thought to be a reliable source in today's news media. It just goes to show you got to be careful who you listen to. Only put your trust in the Lord Jesus. Take everything to Him. He is your only salvation. He is your
60 seconds.
We cannot answer certain questions. We can only lead you to the Bible, to the Lord, and a lot of questions about timing and events. We can research, we can make analysis and theories based on the information we have and we see, but we can never be 100% accurate unless the Lord tells us. That's why we always say, take the information to the Lord. He will be the one to tell you the truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging with us during this chaotic video episode. But I'll tell you what, I hopefully it worked out.
And tomorrow night we're going to come out of the gate with as much fire as we ended tonight's show with. Because it took us so long to get it. It was frustrating at the beginning trying to get things set up, and we will be ready to go and on fire tomorrow. God bless each and every one of you.
10 seconds.
Thank you all all of you who have contributed to the show, whether financially, whether through prayer, whether through spreading the word. We love all of you, and pray for our country.